B. Frank Network.
Welcome to a very special episode of Happy Never After. I think I'm going to change the name. So if you guys have any suggestions, because it is, now we're happy after. You know, I've been divorced a bunch of times, so who cares? My guest was a previous guest of Muscle Spasms. Very inspirational guy. Had a great season, although he had 9 losses. No big deal. Defensive line coach. Coach Sean Spencer or Coach Chaos. What should we call you? Wild Dog?
Wild Dog, yeah. Wild Dog. You're
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm well. How are you?
I like the color of that couch. I tell you what.
Thanks. I sat on it myself. Yeah.
They got that smooth like 1960s feel. Right
I know. There's a matching one right over here.
I see it. I like the pillow too. It's like the decor is unreal right there.
Every other studio in here, this is the podcast studio of Sound Lounge. Every other studio is like stunningly beautiful, gorgeous. This one we have the green 70s version couch, which is super comfy. I have slept in here. Okay, so how are you?
I'm doing unbelievable. We're on a little break now. You know, we got a couple weeks off here, going into, the next phase, going into free agency and then the draft and everything like that. So a little break, a little bit different with the pandemic in terms of going down to the Senior Bowl and things we probably would have done before. It's a good time to kind of just sit back and I don't necessarily relax because I don't know how to do that, but just kind of just take it all in. I mean, because that was a tough year for everybody. The players, the coaches, the families, everybody involved. We got tested every single day. I think I was telling you earlier, like 190 straight tests, COVID tests, and obviously all negative. But still, it was part of your process during the day, and it just a mask on at all times, and talking in meetings with mask on. Going through situations with a mask on. I mean, it was trying. It was trying for our players as well as our coaches, and to get the opportunity to kind of take a step back and just say, okay, this is really going on in the world. Because really, you could be inside that football bubble, and the games are still being played. I know it's no fans, but once you lock into the game, it really is. It's really like you love to have the fans there, but it's really all about your business. But to take a step back from that and just humanize the situation, like this is a trying time for the entire country, right? And the entire world. And we got to stick together here and fight through this thing. And, luckily the vaccines and things are starting to move forward. And, when we're protecting more people and more lives, because that's really the most important thing. As much as I love football, you want to cherish the lives of all the individuals that are affected by this.
You're so sweet. That was so nice. I say fuck them. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was very challenging. And that is a good word from, I had Sam Silla on, who lost his arm in combat in Iraq. And he said not to say things are hard. He said, say the word, things are a challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's great. But you have grown. I mean, you're prepped for this. Your life prepared you for this moment, I think. I mean,
I don't know about this particular one, but it's definitely hardship and adversity. It's either going to break you or it's going to make you stronger. And I always lean to whatever happens is going to make me stronger. So I'll learn from every situation I've been in. And I think, takes me to the point where I'm an NFL coach and, really I talk to a lot of young coaches all the time and, they all want I want to be a coordinator. I want to be a head coach. And I'm like, man, I just look at this path that I took, like Division III, Division II, Ohio, Nashville, Tennessee, moving all over the place, went to school here. And I'm like, the path is not always what you really plan on. It is how you navigate through it, right? So and learning every situation and getting through every situation with something positive, whether it's like the worst circumstance ever, like you found some positive in that situation.
Can you give me a specific example of when that happened to you?
Well, I'll tell you, I knew like I take a job at Bowling Green, which was a great experience for me in the MAC conference. And I remember flying because you fly into Detroit, and I look down, and it looks like the frozen tundra. I mean, I'm looking around, and I'm from Connecticut. I've seen snow before. I went to school in Pennsylvania, but I'm like, it's flat, and all you see is snow. I don't know if I can see houses. I'm like, where am I going? And I land, I get off the plane in Detroit, and it's like an hour to Bowling Green. I mean, there's a mound of snow. I think the Dave Clawson, the head coach of Wake Forest, he's the head coach at Bowling Green at the time, literally was like digging snow off the front steps so I could walk into the building. And I'm like, man, but I'm like, if I do well here, because I had all my jobs were 1AA, Division two, this was my first Division one opportunity. And if I do well here, I do a good job, the rest of this stuff's going to take care of itself. And it wasn't necessarily like a hurdle, but completely moving to an unfamiliar territory. I've been a Northeast guy my whole career. And now to go to Ohio, I'm like, okay, the way I looked at it, I said, I'll just diversify my resume. I said, now I can say that I can recruit Ohio in the Midwest. And really, now it goes to Vanderbilt. I go to Vanderbilt, I go to Nashville, obviously great city, different circumstance, different surrounding, love the city and everything. And then you go from there and you come back to Penn State. And really, the landscape that you worked at Bowling Green was largely in part or largely going to be like represented by Penn State, like recruiting the Midwest, recruiting the Northeast again, and like going Northeast and the Midwest and being able to go into Chicago because I had been there before. And it's like I took that circumstance and I'm like, I changed it into a positive because it really, not that it was negative, but it was completely different. When you get outside your box, you know what I'm saying, more like that's your box, right? You're in this box. We all like our box. And then anytime you kind of go outside of it, it's always this hesitation, and that hesitation is what makes you become great. I feel like it's a hesitation, but you do it anyway,
Right.
right? You're like, I got to do it. It's like no different than going from college where, I'm at Penn State, I'm the associate head coach, and I'm really work my way up the ladder. And now I come to the NFL, and really, they don't really care what you did in college. It's completely different. Like, I would bring up college stuff, and they're like, yeah, we don't really care. It's the NFL. So I took myself another humble stake right there. So,
do you think that kids from the Midwest are harder, like they're better than the kids from the East Coast or the West Coast because we have to deal with the weather?
So knowing that you're from the Midwest of Michigan, I know it's a loaded question. So I'm gonna say, here's what I'll say. I'll say the kid from the Midwest is not afraid of the cold. They're not afraid of inclement weather because they face it all the time. I'm not gonna do a parallel of toughness. I'm from the Northeast. I'm not doing that.
We used to play a Christmas Eve game every year, football game. It was kind of touch, kind of tackle. It was whatever. It was loosey-goosey with all my sister's friends. And every year, the bottom was just ice, and then it would be snow on top of it. And I would fall, and you'd hurt yourself. And every time I was like, why are we doing this? Like, what are we trying to prove? Like, let's just go inside.
I know. And as you get older, like things have never really affected you before when you were young, like ice and snow. Like just like you, we went outside in the snow and the ice, and we played on the concrete. And when it was snow, that became our astroturf. We're like, it's a turf game now. We got snow on top of concrete, so we can actually tackle on the snow. And if you went up to oh yeah.
Ow, fuck.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you grew up like a rich kid, though. So you had everything at your...
I was about as far from rich. I mean, I told you this before. I really never knew I was poor until I actually started like making a little money. Here's what I'm saying. Because like my mother made what she made, and I didn't get it. I'm like, we got everything we want here, But then as you got older, you started saying, well, she really supported the family on very, very limited income.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point in time, we were on welfare, and she was going to college full time. I mean, a food stamp to me was just like money.
Right.
It just looked like Monopoly. You just hand a food stamp, and you get some bread and get some cheese. And it really was not. I never like saw it that way. But then as I got older, I'm like, wow, we were really poor. You know, 5 kids, you know, and I just couldn't understand, you know, like how my brother would pass his jeans down, Bugle Boy jeans back in the day, you know, get the Bugle
Hot.
Boy, but smooth, man. You get the little baggy at the bottom with some boots, but just I buy like sneakers today because like I can, and like I don't even need them sometimes. I just like buy them. I'm like, because I just went through like those times where I had the same sneakers for like a year and they had the hole coming out, and I had like put the extra sock so like the water wouldn't seep into the sneaker. I was like, you know, oh man, it's like I'm just telling you, like one pair of jeans, like one pair, and you just change
One
the shirt.
pair.
You change the shirt. If you change the shirt, it looks like you got multiple, and you just always wore like the back. Like I thought I was a great dresser back then. Like I would see my brother was real preppy, and I like he'd have his shirts, and I steal his shirt, and it would like be way too big for me, and I like wear it hanging, and we're like, "Oh, you're a nice dresser." I'm like, I've had these same pair of jeans on for like the whole week, so glad you didn't notice a change in the shirt, you know.
Yeah, we went to a school. We were the scholarship kids at a private school, and we had uniforms. So my parents didn't have to buy us anything. But my sister would pass things down. There was like a phase where my grandparents would give us like things with our name embroidered.
Yeah.
And I wore a lot of Heather shirts after she gave them back to me. And I was like, thanks. Can I turn it inside out or can we get a patch or like what? I think, do you stock up on things also? Like I grew up really poor also, and I stock everything up. I don't hoard, but I like to have things in the wings. Like I have 3 laundry detergents. I have 3 Unstoppables. I've got 12 paper towels. Like it's all perfect in my store. Do you do that, or is that?
No.
Oh, I'm just a psycho.
I keep clothes for a long time for whatever reason. And I'm like, I have not worn this, and I don't know when.
How is
And
that
why do I
possible? You
still
look like
have
you bust out of your shirts. Look at those guns.
this? I try to like, I try to now, the players, you got to stay all swagged out. So like if I got like some Lululemon joggers on and like the players not like, okay, coach, I see you with the Lulu, like they recognize and stuff. So and then I'm always asking, I'm like, hey, what's the new like trend? Like, I try to, because I hit the big 5-0 here a couple weeks ago, so.
You did? Happy birthday.
Hey, I can't believe it. I'm like 50. I'm like, wow, I used to think those are ancient.
I know.
Now I'm like, oh, 50, that guy's young, man. I see it on TV. They're like, they're 50. I'm like, that guy's young, man.
I have these 2 ladies that come take my class. I teach boot camp outside here in the city,
Yeah.
and they were like, yeah, we got tickets from the police last night because we were too loud. And I was like, I'm sorry, how old are you? And they're like, we're 58. I was like, that's the kind of lady I want to be,
Yeah.
rocking out. I get the new shoes every time too, but I think it's like 80s. 80s is coming back. Do you notice that?
Well, yeah, all these colors and stuff.
Yes.
Like
I
my
love
daughter told me I didn't have enough shoe swag because I have like plain Nike, like black Nike. And I'm like, these look nice. She's like, no, you gotta get some color. Get the Jumpman. Get this. I got all these funky colors now. I'm not even sure I'm comfortable wearing them, but she told me it's trendy. I wear them.
Oh my God. Okay, so you grew up really poor and you were still able to get into sports. Was that like just like a thing everybody did, or?
I think it was an unbelievable buffer to not really thinking that you were or feeling like you were poor. It was just one of those situations where it was such a like you would play the other side of the project and you get an opportunity to play football. So we would wake up, seriously, this would be a day. We wake up, we play basketball, okay, all day.
Mm-hmm.
And then at night, we would play football at night. Then get up again in the morning again and we play basketball, and then we play football. And it was like, we were like kept track of like how many touchdown passes. I was a quarterback. And at one point I had like 70 something touchdowns thrown. It was like we were keeping track of it. It was
like in one day or over a season?
No, over the course of the season. You just play. I mean, you play 5 games in a day. So
I was like, your team, the other team sucked then.
No. We played 5 games in a day. We had a passing tree though, so we were a little bit advanced, so I would just call out numbers from the line. That's when the coaching started. I just go, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, and I just call it out, and we just like dink it. So I think I invented hurry up offense because that was it did back then. I get on the line and I'd be like 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, and just start throwing past. Nobody could defend it.
And the numbers that you said meant something?
And we had a tree. We drew up a tree, so like 2 was out, and then 4 was a deep out, and then 5 was a slant,
Yeah.
and then 3 was a dig, and then like 8 was a post, and then 9 was a go, and 7 was a corner. So like literally, like it just had to make sense. So you wouldn't like if you were over here, I'm gonna clear the zone. I'm gonna run a 9, and I'll run an 8 over here, bring a dig underneath, and I'm running out here. That's my check down. Like this was legitimately going on when I was 12 years old. I'm not saying it was just that's how we called the offense. And we those guys come out with the little playbooks that they drew up, and I just go on the line and whenever it was a pass play, I just called out numbers. They just did it.
Did you when you played in school? You played in school, right? Did it cost money? Because I know that I had to sell chocolate to play sports. I had to sell like chocolate bars and stuff. It was like $250, and you had to raise that money to play a sport every year.
Well, because I went to a public school, it's publicly funded. Not that we had a lot, but we didn't have to raise money for that. We had to raise money for like our uniforms, and we're always doing some kind of sale to help us get uniforms or to help us get new equipment because the stuff was really not. It was
you're
old,
banging each other.
The crazy thing too is like I still talk to my high school coach. Like he texts me after every game.
Aww.
And he tells me what he saw. Yeah, Coach Martin. He just, hey, this was good. This was, he got no. He get older too. He got no filter. So, they just tell me you could have done this better. I'm like, thanks, Coach. But it was pretty cool. I can't imagine. Coach Martin got to be like 80 something, 84 years. Got to be in his 80s.
I feel like dudes keep better friendships than chicks do, long term.
Again, that's no comment on that because I'm not gonna get. I know how to answer things, so I'll leave that alone. Mara said that.
Okay, so didn't you want to play soccer?
I did. You're right. I thought I was Pele. Yep, I was the only guy in the projects that played soccer. I got made fun of all the time. I'd be dribbling the soccer ball, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" No one would play with me, so I had to go away to the camps, like Avon Old Farms, to go to the camp there because. No one in the project played soccer, and I was way better than them because no one played. If they actually played.
I was like, maybe they just didn't like you.
No, I had a lot of friends.
No, I'm just kidding.
I made friends pretty easily, A couple guys when I was younger tried to bully me and stuff. I had a lot of fights growing up, but as I started growing and getting bigger, people kind of just left me alone.
I can't imagine I don't think I was bullied by my sister's friends, but they just fucked with me like regular. Like they would carry me upside down the hallway and stuff like that. Yeah.
My brother and his friend taped me to a tree one time.
So. Like what kind of, like all the way, like arms and legs?
Oh yeah, like totally taped up to the tree because they chased me around for an entire day because I sucker punched my brother in the ribs and got him real good. And they literally chased me around the entire day. Glenn Spencer and Benny Brown. And they caught me. They caught me. And when they caught me, they tied me to a tree. I was tied to a tree. I was like,
how'd you get down?
I was so angry. I had tears coming out of my eyes. I was like using all kind of bad words. I was so upset because I got a real good sucker punch on my brother. He was chirping. Bam! I got him, and then I took off running. And they caught me though. This chase went on all night. Like they got me. It was like literally probably I punched him probably like 11 in the afternoon, in the morning, and probably right around 7 or 8, I got caught.
Oh my God, that's good. You would have been a great soccer player.
And then I got my friends involved. I'm like, hey, help me run. It's funny. Vinny Brown just texted me right now. He must be listening to the live.
I was like, on the other mic, Vinny Brown, welcome. No, I'm just kidding.
That was crazy. Vinny just texted me while I just talked about it.
That's nuts. ESP. I get that sometimes. Yeah, I think I actually messed with my sister more than she messed with me. She was so sweet. She was like tall and lean. She was 5'8". still is real lean. She got my mom's body, long, lean arms, and I got my dad's little bulldog body. I'm 5'4", little, and I was 4 foot nothing growing up, and so I would just mess with her, I think, just to like prove dominance. Like one time I crawled over in the middle of the night and I jumped on the bed, and because she would sleep like a mummy, and I go right in her face, and she'd pee the bed.
That's so mean. That's totally you though, but that's so
I
mean.
know. I was like, "Hi, now you have to sleep with me. Come on over." It was all a ploy. You're close with your siblings?
Yeah, they all live in Connecticut. My sister works for the state. She's an assistant attorney general, and then my brother's a teacher. Other sisters are reverend. Other sister kind of does blue collar work. But we're all still close. They're funny. They're funny. They all act the same. I'm always the life of the party, as you can tell, and I'm always the troublemaker. I'm the youngest, so I'm always popping junk. Like always, I'm making fun, like taking somebody's food when they're not looking. Like my sister will have her drink, her soda or whatever, and I guzzle it when she's not looking. I put it back down, and then she goes to look at it like, "Whoa, I just didn't have a soda," She,
That's
like,
a game. That's a game. We used to play that. We used to, whoever had beer, like when we go skiing, and if they weren't paying attention, you try to drink it as fast as possible, but I'm not sure who the winner is of that game. I was very good at it. No, I mean, like, do you win because you drank the most, or do you win because you're so stone sober?
Now you can't do this stuff now with COVID. I mean,
I know.
you don't want to drink anybody's.
No one's. Well, no.
I mean, the world's changed. Like I was getting gas, and in Jersey, like you just hand them your card, So like I put a mask on for the guy that come to the window, and I'm like kind of like this, and then he hands the card back, and then I grab my sanitation spray or whatever, hand sanitizer, and then, it's like, man, the world's changed. He just handed me a card. Guy pump gas. This is pretty cool. Guy pumps your gas, right? You have to pump your gas.
In Jersey, it's so great. I love it.
I know when I first moved here, I got on the car like, hey. Oops, I forgot.
That's the reason why the gas is cheaper, because their insurance is less because someone pumps your gas.
Really?
Yep, that's the law. Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, I tell you, I scared him one time. I drove up in the Harley, and the guy looked at me pull up. He's like looking at me. I'm like, I like to pump this myself. He's like, oh yeah, go ahead. Because you got to screw the cap and you put it in, and then, you got to measure it, because nothing tells you it's full.
Right.
And if not, it'll splatter all over the place. So I'm like, if I'm gonna mess up my bike, it's gonna be me. It's not gonna be this guy.
Right.
He wanted not to do it. He's like, here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to get a bike for next year. I tried to get one this year, but then you can't get your license unless you take a dumb class, and then in New York, and then you couldn't even. It was such a pain in the ass. But next year we're
it's tough. For sure. Up there in PA, the Pocono area up there is really nice riding, and that Harley dealership up there is really cool.
That's right. That's my exit.
Yep.
To the left is the Tannersville, is the Harley, and then to the right is a lot of shopping, a lot of discount stuff. Okay, so easy peasy. I want to get into the dirt of how you went from just the baby of your family to a fucking NFL coach. That's one of those dream situations where you're like, I put it on my wish board, and I manifested it, and you're like, no, these were the steps that I took. This is the mentality I had. Were you ever injured? Did you ever get injured?
Playing football? Yeah, I mean, very minimal injury. The worst injury I had was coaching. I was on the sideline. We're playing Kutztown University, and we go up for what I thought was a game-winning score. And I jumped up on the sideline, and one of the players, George Bannis, I still remember, swung his helmet. And when he swung his helmet, it hit the bottom of my kneecap, and I blew up my patella tendon. Yeah, so my knee was on the side of my leg, and I kind of moved my kneecap back.
Whew.
That's the worst injury I ever had. It's still to this day my leg's jammed up because of that. But I'm still squatting and stuff like that. Very light though, but you got to keep it going.
Very light with chains.
I do the chains. I like.
That's
I
not
like
light.
I like the chain. I don't go that heavy anymore. I swear I don't think I go over 235 for reps. I'm not.
There is no way that you have those kind of muscles without going a little bit heavy. What
I said on my leg. I said on my legs. I didn't say my upper body.
Oh.
I a little heavier on my
What
on
do you,
my
what are you wearing?
more,
Ladies
more repetition.
Lululemon? Were you ladies
What
Lululemon
the,
leggings? Is that what you're
no,
wearing, Doug?
I don't have chicken legs though. Those guys are funny when they walk around like that, right? With the chicken legs, but no, but like the journey was cool, you know. Like I really tried to learn something from everywhere I was at. And I know it sounds cliche, but you know, I lived the dream, right? I went and I was a GA and I grinded, and then you know I became a position coach early. So I coached Division II, I coached Division III. Started to learn. I feel like the greatest gift I got from all of this was learning how to deal with people. Because it's a people world, you know, it's a people industry, it's a people world. Like dealing with people, you know, everyone's different, and you got to learn how to coach different. Some players can take it when you yell at them, some can't, and you got to find that out. Like you know, like you got to treat them all the same, but they got to treat them different. Like that's gonna make sense to you in a second. Like I know that this kid, I can get on him a certain way, and his response is going to be right dead on. I know if I get on this guy right here, he'll tank it. He ain't gonna get the best out. You know, so it's just like in business, you know, knowing who your employees are and knowing their strengths, you know, like this person's really good at this. Well, if they're not good at this, don't put them in that situation. You know, so
Yeah, but
I learned that
doesn't
early
it
on.
make that person grow if you put them in a situation that they're not great at?
Now, it's the difference putting them into it's different putting them into uncomfortable, being uncomfortable, and knowing how to coach them. It's two different things. You
Right.
know, like I know that this player acts, I can't scream and yell at because he's gonna just tank it. But I know I gotta put pressure on him in a different way. You know, like you tell me what you need to do here. You know, and put him on in front of his peers without embarrassing them. And sometimes it's going to require that you have to get after somebody and get after the whole group. But it's just really an art, I think, of how you need to have people respond to you. Just really know them, you know, and that really goes into the psychosis of like learning who you're dealing with. You know, like you have to know your personnel. You have to
I feel like this kind of transcends all relationships.
absolutely
But also, I feel like even some people aren't motivated no matter what. I'll go through, like, even with my PT clients, I will stick with how they get motivated, but then I will hit a point where I'm like, why are you paying me $150? You're
right,
wasting
right.
your time, you're wasting my fucking time. Get out. I don't have to, like, what? And sometimes I will yell. And I have cried in front of them. I'm like, you're driving me insane. That's probably why you have the coaching position and I don't.
Now again, which is a little different in college football. You know that guy doesn't play; he's going to get beat out, and playing time is an unbelievable equalizer. And in the NFL, if you don't produce, you get replaced.
Right.
So eventually, yeah, I got these methods of doing, but if they don't do it right, someone else is.
Right.
You know, and that's when you talk about like you know results oriented businesses. You know, that's where you get checked up real quick. You know what I mean?
The minutes that you play
Yeah, I
a
mean,
big old factor, huh?
it's a huge factor, you know?
Do you think why? I know that you have married your same lady twice, which is fun. Uh, did you have a big wedding the second time?
No, absolutely not.
You just went to the city hall?
No, we did it before a game. I grabbed one of the special teams coordinator, said, come with me. He said, where am I going? I said, I need a witness. He's like, what? And then the team chaplain did it. And
You are Coach Chaos. You are.
That's what he said. He said, only you would do this. Only because I can't believe what I'm doing right now. So yeah. So that's what you're gonna do. I'm like, he's like, what? And we had team dinner, and I said, I need you for like 25 minutes. And he was like, where am I going? And when I took him, he was like, there's only you would do this. I'm like, I'm keeping it real.
What about your girl? Wasn't she like, was she dressed and ready?
No, she was in jeans and stuff. I mean, what difference did it make at that point? You know, I mean,
That's true.
this was round 2. So, you know what I'm saying?
Did she get a honeymoon?
We got a honeymoon every day. She's with me. So, you
know, okay, so your first wedding, did you have a big wedding?
Yeah. Too many people, you know, just.
How many people?
You know, all those people, it was probably like 300 people. It's just a waste. So Here's what I'm telling you. Here's what I'm telling you. Okay, it's not a waste, but be careful how many people you actually invite because some of them you never hear from.
Ever again.
I had cousins that thought they were just at Ruby Tuesdays. They're like, well, I think I'm gonna go to the reception. I'm like, what do you mean think you go to the reception? We just pay for your plate. You gotta go to the reception. Like we can't like turn that back in. Like, oh, no, maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll, like, but just make sure you have the people there that you really want to like be a part of your special day.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I had almost 500 at my second wedding. And
Wow.
yeah, and I wrote on there, no children. If you need childcare accommodations, let me know, because most of my family flew in, and that's the reason why I didn't cancel the wedding, because I was like, everybody has their plane tickets. I don't really want to do this, but so true. And I looked out and I was like, I don't even know half these people. What? And my cousin brought her kids, her babies. And I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, because what happens on those days is it becomes about the people that are there more so than the couple. And you watch people act up, watch people complain about stuff. You're like, no, this is about the two people who are joining here.
Right.
Like, can you let yourself go for 1 minute to allow these people to have their great day? And that's what, I mean, God bless, these guys get married young, and always tell them wait, just take your time and just make sure you're ready. I say this is a difficult thing. It's any relationship is difficult, but let alone being married to somebody. Everyone's different. Those special days come to people, and God bless them in their journey. To have success, but don't make it about the other people. Just don't make it about the mother-in-law, the father-in-law. Don't make it about the other people. Make it about yourself. You make it about yourself and your spouse, you're gonna have tremendous success. But as soon as it goes outside that, I just remember like this side of the family was fighting about the rehearsal dinner, and this side, I'm like, this is a joke. Like, and I'm a happy-go-lucky person, so like I don't do well with that. Like when there's that kind of conflict, when it's supposed to be happy, I struggle with that concept, because I would never do that. Like if I was at a wedding and I wasn't having a good day and this was easy, feel like I would set aside myself. I get over myself for that 3 hours of those people's weddings. I get the line going, line dancing. Weddings are great, man. I love going to them. I want to invite them to their wedding, I'll show up.
I went to my friends. We were all drinking. We ended up doing, like, one of the guys ended up like dancing on, what was this, Friday night? He just started dancing to the music, and so then I started dancing, and he had a girl there with him, and she was like new to the group. And then I'm also kind of a hype girl, so I started like having a dance off. I made them have a dance off together, and then the next day I was like, I'm so sorry, that was so aggressive, because I would jump in. I was like, now you go. And I was like, let's do this. And I was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? I was like, I don't know, I drank too much. All right, let's rock it out. This poor little English teacher was like, what are we doing exactly? I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't know, kicking. I don't know. Jeez. Yeah, my aunt, who was like super Catholic, tiny, I remember her leaving my wedding almost all the way out of her sunroof screaming, I had the best time of my life. And I was like, oh my God, this got wild. Yeah, I would never have a big wedding again. That was the marriage that only lasted 17 days. So I know.
This is like a reality show right here.
But in my brain, I knew what was happening. I was like, this is going to end. So I'm glad that everybody had a great time,
You had a great party.
That's what they all say. That was the best party. Do you remember those times back at your wedding where you're like, oh, that was really fun? Do you watch the videos?
No, I remember the fun. I was like you, like I told you.
You don't review the tapes?
Nah, I don't review the tapes. Not from the first one. It didn't work. I didn't want to go back.
But you guys got back together, and now we live in beautiful, close to the stadium area, and you have your beautiful daughter.
Good job not telling me. That was good one. I was want to tell you.
I know. I was like,
we go on this
an area around this
And
area.
I was like, when I was talking about you, I was like, over there in the Pocono. You're like, my ex. I'm like, no, no, no. Sorry, exit, man. Just say out there. You know, to help
Here
people.
is his exact address and send fan mail or stalkers. Have you ever had a stalker?
The only thing, one time at Penn State was really weird. I got a letter on my door, and it was really from a student who wanted to try out for the team. He said couldn't get through to anybody, but I kind of called him and just told him how inappropriate that was to go to my house. You know, like,
Your house.
oh yeah, I got the letter at my house. I'm like, that's completely inappropriate. Like,
Yeah.
you know, people living, you know, you can't do that, man. You know, like I kind of coached him up. He's like, I was like, no, that was inappropriate.
Yeah.
Like you don't show up at someone's doorstep. I mean, because I don't know who you are. But you know, that's so
Creepy.
hopefully I gave him a lesson. No, that was definitely creepy. He never even tried out for the team. I did not like that. I did not like. Don't show up at my doorstep.
So did you ever have walk-ons? Like, did you have your own Rudy Rudigers at Penn State?
Oh, we had several guys. I mean, Carl Nassib being one of them. It was a walk-on who ended up starting and still playing for the Raiders right now. He was an unbelievable story. You know, he never started a game until his senior year in college. He never started a game, not college. I'm talking about from high school to college. His first game ever starting was his senior year in college. And
Wow.
he comes in at 6'7", 207 pounds, leaves at 6'7", 275, gets drafted in the third round by the Cleveland Browns, goes on, plays for the Tampa Bay, and just signed a big contract with the Raiders. And this guy, again, tremendous story, and brilliant too. He was on that Hard Knock show talking about managing money. You look him up. He's calling that NASA managing the money thing. Like he was breaking it down to the guys, like how they should live. Like if you take X amount of dollars and you live for this amount of time, you could do this, but you don't have to spend any money. And
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, because a lot of people, I read that football or actually athletes, first-year athletes get a little reckless with their funds. They're kind of like lottery winners.
I mean, they get paid. They get paid by the week. So those checks are like ridiculous, right? So you're a young kid, and there's no way I would have been able to handle that. Like coming out of college, like what? What does this check say? And then but it's such a short life if you don't do it right.
Right.
That's the thing that people think that all the NFL guys make so much money. It's like there's just some that make millions and millions. There's others that make really good money, but they can be cut in 3 years. So say for instance, you can make 600 plus, and for most people that's a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can make 600 plus, but you could be in your third year or your second year making that, and then you could get cut. And then when you get cut, there's no like, we owe you this money. You're done.
What are the stats of? Because you know how like in real estate, like 10% of the people make it. What are the stats in pro football? Like how many first years make it to 10th year?
I think though that, and I'm not quoting because I did a thing for the rookies. I don't have that in front of me, but I think the expectancy is somewhere between 3 and 4 years. Like so, right? So like
3 and 4 years. That's it.
3 and 4 years. Yeah. So like,
that's it.
Yeah.
So the people really need to plan.
Yeah, you definitely have to plan, and that's why they take care of themselves so that they can get. You always talk about going to the second contract. They want to get to that second contract, and it's tough because the young bodies come in. The young kids come in with all that, young athleticism. They come in, and then you got to beat them out.
But you didn't have that type of paycheck flow right out of college. You didn't go right from your first coaching job wasn't a $600,000 a year job.
No, my first coach. I'm not telling you what I make, but my first coach's salary I had $10,000 a year.
$10,000 a year.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I lived with 2 other dudes. I had a Chevy Cavalier. You couldn't tell me nothing. I paid my $200 a month car payment. Insurance was $133, and I think I had $600 left over every month. And I thought I was rich. I'm like, I'm good.
Oh,
$600, like $50 a week, $75 maybe. We're good.
Oh my God. Thank God you grew up the
Then
way
I
you
got a
did.
big one.
Right after that?
Yeah, I got a big raise. I went from 10,000 to 21,000 at Shippensburg, and you couldn't tell me nothing. I got me an apartment
Your own
with
apartment.
two. Oh, and I had a nice apartment with on top of a law firm with a little living room, kitchen, bedroom with no door. I was straight.
21,000.
You couldn't have told me nothing. Like I left there making 28,000. I'm like, I'm rich. 28,000. And it's not no knock on people that make that because people make that. And that's I don't want to be like I'm just saying in retrospect to the like I thought I made it at 28,000. I was fine.
28,000 in New York is like making 14 cents. 28,000 in Nebraska is like you can live on that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
here you cannot.
no, no. I mean, you could. This place is expensive now. Whew.
And then you moved up after that. Did you have but wasn't there a time that you were considering leaving coaching?
Yeah, it was probably about. I was at Trinity College. I was in my second term there. Was I at Trinity 3 years or two? I think I was only there two. I was in my second term at Trinity, and I was kind of like on the rise. Like I went there and I was basically a play call, offensive play caller, and then a new coach came in. He kind of shuffled the staff around, and it actually was probably the best thing for me. He moved me to D line from like coaching on offense,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, here we are today. I'm coaching in the NFL, but I was just like, yeah, just I kept seeing all my buddies. Like I'm right at that like stalemate of pay wise, where I'm making decent money, but I see all my buddies. They're correction officers or they're police officers, or they're making so much more money than me, and I'm just like, just done. And I almost became a manager of a food market, like Edwards Superfood store. So they had like a management program. So to get you in like the management, and I interviewed for the job. I got it.
You interviewed.
I interviewed. I got the job. And at the time, the job was like, I thought I struck gold. I mean, it was like $65,000 salary, and then to make up to 100 with like overtime on the weekend. I'm like, fuck that, I'm out. But then I checked myself because I remembered that I did not get into football because of money. I got into it because of the difference I was gonna make, and my love of the game, my love of kids, and passion for helping other people out. And then I pulled back. I said, nah, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not taking that path. But I almost did it.
How close were you? Like, were you turning in your notice?
No, it was real. It was hard because I went back and forth. Like I was probably in my seventh year coaching. I was right at that breaking point. Like what am I gonna do here? You know what I mean? And it was just like, and I just said, nah, I'm gonna put my nose to the grind, just like I did when I got here.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't lose sight of that. And if I wasn't gonna be moved by just money's nice. I mean, we all want money, but I wasn't going to be moved by that. And I've never been, the rest of my career, I've never been moved by money. Never. I've never asked for one raise from any place I've been. Everything, if I ever got a raise or they moved me up, it's because of what I did. I never went in and asked for more money. I didn't do it at any job I've ever been at.
I feel like there has to be some balance where you do ask, though. You got to ask.
It's going to happen, though.
I mean, yeah, but it's going to, sometimes they don't remember, they don't know.
No, they remember when other teams come out. So when I'm at Penn State and I'm getting offered all these jobs and I don't have to ask, I say, this job A is going to pay me this and you're paying me this. And I think I got to look at job A.
Can you imagine the type of grocery store manager you'd have been? You've been like, all right,
let's go stock the shelves.
Every customer that comes in, here's a tree, here's the line we're gonna run. All right, here's starting produce. Then head down.
Oh yeah, I'd have been high fiving people when they walked in.
It would have been. I mean, you were gonna be a star no matter what. But yeah, I'm glad that
my summer job was working at one of those supermarkets. And I stocked shelves. And the truck would come in, and all those guys would be on break, like the third break. I didn't get it. I'm like, but it's like 8 a.m. What are we taking, another break? And they're like, yeah, it's coffee break, smoke break. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not doing that. I'm like, this is what we're gonna do. I said, you stay there, I'll unload the truck. And unload the truck by myself.
Just doing the
Like,
work.
yeah, just because I thought it was a workout. I'm like, I just get to sweat.
Yeah, I love that.
You almost unloaded the whole truck. Like, yeah, I'm like, I don't need a break. We just got here. Like, literally, you come in at 7 and at 8:30 you took a break. I didn't understand that. I'm like, we don't need a break, do we? They're like, yeah, we take a coffee break. I'm like, we didn't do anything.
That is one of my issues at the end of the day. I'm like, did I eat today? I don't think I ate. I don't think because you don't give yourself any time. Like you and I are the same as with the drinking coffee situation. We're like, just have a sip of coffee, keep doing your deal, whatever. Just keep on moving. Yeah.
These couple of days off I've had has just been so weird to me. I don't know. Like I watched the Patriot game last night, watched something else, I watched something else on TV. Now work out and just go take a drive outside. my daughter's not, there's no sports going on, so I can't like, I'm like, hey, Alicia, come on, we'll go work out. And she's like, no, I got homework, Dad. I go, oh yeah, oh yeah.
She's like, leave me alone. You're
I
at
drove her
home
to
one
school
day.
today. I was
Aww.
excited because I get to drive. She told me, what you need to park right here, okay? You should meet me back here, park right here. Don't come. I was like, oh, I'm getting bossed around, but that's cool. I can see it.
Have you ever been depressed?
No, we all have those bouts of depression. I mean, you go through it. And there's one point like I'm at Bowling Green, and I'm on like last leg, and like financially on my last leg, and I'm like, wow. And I don't know how it got short one month, and I had to call one of my buddies to get like money wired to me. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I was making decent money at the time, but clearly I didn't manage it properly. Then I had to call somebody, have them wire me money just to get home. I had to get back from Pittsburgh to Ohio. I think it was one of those things like, you live kind of check to check, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you think you're getting paid on Friday and you did. And for whatever reason, you got paid on Monday.
Right.
You get paid Friday. So I'm making wrong audible now. And I was like, we're a little short here. But we worked it out though. But like, you get depressed. When I was not with my daughter for 8 years, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's not kind of how you want it, right? Grew up without a dad, and I did not want to be that person that he was, and so that was trying. But all of those things always like put my backbone out. Like, okay, this will be my Achilles heel. This will be my backbone. I'm gonna choose it to be my backbone. This is how I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna stay depressed more than like you know an hour or two. I'm gonna put it
That's
back.
it.
I'm gonna put it back together. I mean, because I always feel like everyone's counting on me. Like she was counting on me. My family's counting on me. People like that supported me coming up through. I did not want to be selfish and take my personal feelings and like project them to anybody. So I did not do that. You know, I'm not telling you I don't get down and upset because I do, but then it drives me. Like I always check myself. It's a checkpoint with me. I'm like, okay, get over yourself real quick and get this thing right. You know,
Yeah.
like coming into the NFL, it's a humble pie. And I'm like, no one cared what you did at these places you did. I had all the success. They don't really care. What are you going to do now? And it'll check you. You know,
So how did that feel going from never losing a game at Penn State, really most of your college coaching career, to this year? This is a tough year for you to start. I mean, you start in the middle of a fucking pandemic. It's crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Put it in perspective again.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. And I'm keeping this piece of floss with me to remind me I got this dentist appointment. Because I'm serious. I'm like, if I keep twirling this thing, I'll remember. But you just put it into perspective. And I think, like I said, like guys like Jesse Armstead and stuff, that guys that were, pros for a long time, and really just put it into perspective. Like you got to get over that last loss because you got to get ready for the next game. And
Mm-hmm.
that was the biggest thing. I think Coach Franklin helped to teach me resolve at Penn State. We always talked about core values, positive attitude, great work ethic, competing everything you do and must be willing to sacrifice. And I go through those things in my head whenever that was like not going right. And like again, gotta get over yourself because like, okay, you lost. Okay, they're counting on you to be ready for the next week, so it doesn't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guarded by wins and losses? Or do you see progress? And that's kind of what we talked about was just making sure that we always saw progress and that we got better. And then at the long run, at the end of the season, it would take care of itself, which it basically did because we did what we had to do in the last outing to put ourselves in this situation. But like had we done other things in other games, and we probably would not be in that situation where we waited for someone else to do something to have us have success.
Do you have players that fall into that victim mentality or those pity parties that you kind of have to?
Now we talk about process all the time, and they understand that no one has time for the pity party.
Do you feel like at the pro level or even in the college sport, do you think that that is one of the key pieces that people don't take the time to feel sorry for themselves? They just move on to the next thing. They're just like, no, fuck that.
Those that can do it, and you got to still assess why something happened, right? You can't just say, "Oh, I'm moving on." You better assess it. You better go back to it and say, "This is why this happened. I got to fix this for the next time so that it doesn't happen again."
Right.
The great ones are able to do that, and that's why they have constant success.
Interesting. And again, I feel like this transcends over all relationships and all different types in your work, in your personal relationships, and everything.
No question.
Have you had friends for like a super long time? Obviously, you have.
Oh yeah. Like my friend, I have my college buddies. They still from Trinity to Wesleyan to wherever it was at. They always come up for a game, and they call it the guys' weekend. They come up, and for some reason they forget that I'm still working. Hey, what are we doing? Well, I got to coach a game tomorrow. We could sit here and watch some TV and enjoy ourselves. But they really support me. They come up every game, and I'm really good at keeping friendships. Especially if I think it's a real one. I'll stay in touch with people and hit them on a random, and people are like, I can't believe you called. You must be busy. I'm like, well, it's 6 a.m. I'm 5:30. I always tell people during the season, I get you at 5:30 in the morning or 11 at night. Which one you want me to do?
Has anybody ever just like done you really dirty, but you knew that that wasn't them at their heart, at their soul, and so you forgave them?
I think you can forgive people. You can't forget, but you definitely got to forgive. I don't really think anyone maliciously has done anything to me. There's been some guys that I choose not to talk to anymore because I just don't think their intentions or their heart is in the right place, and I really don't deal with people like that. If I think you are a bad person, then I'm not going to keep you in my circle. So that's a choice, right? That's a choice. Like
Right.
the bad people, you just and you wish them well, but they just don't have to be in your circle.
Do you tell them you're out?
No, I don't like it. Well, if they ask, I'll tell them. I have no problem speaking my mind, but more so like you're not involved with those people. And when people can get it, you know how it is. When you
Yeah.
cut those guys off and stuff, you just don't talk to them anymore. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm this is the lesson that I'm learning this year is to set better boundaries and have people that lift you up, that make you a better person instead
Yeah,
of
you got to have people that are either similar to you or they make you better. If you get people that like are pulling you in the wrong direction or pulling you down, I mean, it's not worth it. It's negativity.
Yeah.
And we all have them. We all have those people, but life is a series of trying to have is the least amount of people that do that as possible. And again, those people in their own world probably are great people to somebody, but to you in your world, they don't match. And then I don't judge like just that ain't matching with who I am. But that doesn't mean they're bad. For me, it's negative. But for them in their circle, they might be positive, and I support them, like I root them on, but not with me.
Now, something I noticed, and you don't have to agree with me like a lot of things, you could say, this is what Mars said. I feel like Corona, for this whole pandemic, is in some people and a lot of people has brought out a lot of selfishness. It's like they're going through it. And
Yeah.
and one of the coaching techniques that I love that you do is with the is it with the dog tags that you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, where everybody has to, what's that? Oh, you don't want to do you want to share or no sharing?
Yeah, no, I can share. The printer was been going off for
I
some
was like,
reason. So.
what the fuck? 1981, your fax machine is going.
No, not a fax, but you got a nice little printer here. Apparently, my daughter has wrote some
All
pages.
right.
She forgot I was down here talking. The so the dog tags, they just it really symbolizes, playing for the guy next to you,
Right.
and making it bigger than you playing for the guy next to you. We really bring in the military aspect of it, and I've had military people talk to them about the significance of the dog tag and how. Here you go, Alicia. Go take your paper.
I hope you get an A.
um, and the significance of the dog tag and how that's really the only means of finding somebody, like, their only means of identification, if their body was found. I know that's a little bit extreme, but more so that, like before the game, we put that tag on and I say, I'm playing for Mar, and we give each other 5. And now we broke bread that I'm playing for you, that if something goes wrong in that game or something, we're tight, you can know that I have your back.
Right.
And just trying to make it bigger than themselves. And I think, I didn't know how that was going to go in the pros, but I presented it to the guys. I said, I don't want to throw this on you. This is what I believe in. But if you guys want to embrace it, we're going to get tags. I'm going to get the tags for you. And they wanted to do it. And they warm every game. And, but I wanted to make sure that I let them choose that and not me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to put this is what I believe in, and if you would like to embrace it, I love to bring this, and we did it. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because sometimes if you push things, people will pull back and they won't do it.
Yeah,
but
I don't want to force something.
Yeah,
it's something I believed in, and that's definitely a much.
Can you imagine had we done a nationwide dog tag? We would have gone through this so much faster. If we would have been like, we are doing this for our neighbor, it would have all worked out so much faster. People just got really selfish through this whole thing. It was really crazy. Yeah. And they
we're still not through it.
I know. Let's wrap up. But you do have some really fantastic projects coming up, and you also have your own fitness line, which I have a lot of your apparel.
So you with the Wild Dog shirt on the other day.
I know. I worked out outside in the sno.
I know you're bad. You're bad. I like it.
They came and I have this my daily routine, which you should come up and do it with me. Although it's it's hard, so I don't know if you can hang, but
I'll try.
One of my trees broke and it fell on top of the power cord, so the power company came and just cut the tree down, but left it there. So I cut a piece, like a huge log, off with an axe every day. I sharpen the axe with a Dremel, and then I go out and it is so hard. And it's like the biggest log, and then I'll carry whatever left across the driveway and then back, and then that's part of my workout.
I love it.
My neighbors are like, "You're fucking crazy." I'm like, "You need a log? I'll cut you one." So where can they find your apparel, and where can they find you?
So just trainingchaos.com. As you said, workout apparel. It's really lifestyle, just a lot of sayings on the shirts. We always say we're not selling T-shirts, we're selling a brand. Like one of the shirts we have now is called Life is Chaos, but chaos means command heart, achieve outstanding success. So when you first initially see chaos, you're assuming it with something crazy and no, it's about energy. It's about having great passion for what you do and those type of things. So we took that word chaos and made it become a positive, a positive affirmation, right? Mm-hmm. Command heart, achieve outstanding success. So definitely, go on there and we got workout apparel. We got just, sweatshirts. We got everything. It's really that positive community that we're trying to put together.
And the fabric is so comfy. So soft.
Lisa Martinez, she does a great job from Design Junkies of putting that together for me. And then Danny Youssef from Dayvision takes care of all the marketing. I really don't do anything. I take a couple pictures now. I just, and I don't run the site, that like everyone, like I see the messages on there that are like responding like, Coach, really, Coach, so sometimes I'm like, tell them this, but it's fun.
You're like, I just have the guns, and I have the shirt.
I got some new pictures coming out.
All right.
They made me take some pictures. I got a Wild Dog for Life picture that I had to take. It's just funny, like taking it in my driveway. Like my buddy and his girlfriend come over and work out. I'm like, hey, Lil, I'm like, I need to take some pictures. It's just funny. I'm like, oh man, this is silly, man. Because I really prefer to like put everybody else out, and we'd like to post you again soon.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right,
I haven't taken like professional photos in
you
such a
don't
long
need that.
time.
We take care of it. You just gotta just send us a picture, just like your two pals there have done. They did a whole video. Those two,
I know. They're crazy.
yeah, they're crazy. They get after. They're fun.
They're so fun. They're nuts. Yeah, but it's just me and my dog. It's hard to do those same exercises with my dog, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so at Train in Chaos, and then we'll announce all the other projects as they come. So
Absolutely.
all right, so good luck the rest of this season and next season, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for coming on. Good luck at the
Thanks for having me in
dentist.
the lounge. Oh yeah, I can't wait for this one. I'm gonna go attack the day on this one.
Oh
They
my,
put Novocaine in me. That's why we had to talk now because I don't know what I've been saying.
remember my face, I had surgery,
Oh
and
yeah, that
then
was
I had surgery again last week.
man.
I know. I'm like, this COVID season's really, I've never had this much happen to me.
Man.
It's crazy. So now I'm all better, I hope. Okay, so please follow Happy Never After podcast on Instagram, on HNA Pod on Twitter, and it's also on Facebook. So we're all there, which is part of the Be Frank Network, which you can find at befranknetwork.com. Love you guys. Thanks, Coach Pence.
Thank you.